What is up, everybody? My name is Isaac Kaufeld, the managing partner at the Growth Assistance Agency, where we implement and scale outbound marketing systems to book 10 to 15 high intent sales appointments every single month on a performance basis for B2B consultants, coaches, agency owners, and offers in general. And today I'm going to be talking about how to turn your B2B service into an offer that actually prints meetings with your ideal clients. And before we get into it, why should you listen to me? Well, I've worked with over 40 B2B clients to develop their outbound systems for their businesses and have come across hundreds and hundreds of offers at this point and have tested hundreds and hundreds of offers to the market. So I have a pretty good idea of what actually gets someone to respond and what a strong offer looks like. And then I actually book 30 to 50 meetings on autopilot, for myself at my agency, as you can see here on the bottom left. Few screenshots of my calendars where we're actually booking about 5 to 10 meetings a day on average, sometimes higher, sometimes lower. But we've got a pretty good handle on how to actually generate appointments on a very consistent basis. So I'm going to be talking about the underlying issue first and foremost. And this really boils down to 5 different points, right? The first one is that most businesses, they can usually get from 300 to a million a year word of mouth, but they don't really see results when it comes to scaling outbound. Second is that they don't know how to convey their differentiating unique mechanism and value proposition to the market. And then third, which I don't blame a lot of businesses for this, but this is often a pitfall that leads to very little success with outbound, is that they logically believe that they have product market fit because they've made money selling services in the past. And this can go up to, multiple 7 figures, but it still doesn't mean you have product market fit. Fourth is that they have very little or none existing content on the web, so they can't actually leverage content as social proof and sales assets in the sales process to particularly cold traffic. Then lastly, they have no risk reversals, meaning they cannot sell against the inherent proclivity that cold traffic will have that you are an internet scammer, or that what you do doesn't work, or that your claims are just, frou-frou, right? As business owners, it hurts to lose $1 more than it feels good to gain $1. So when you're selling to cold traffic, and I've closed 98% of my business from cold traffic, you are selling against the inherent belief that people don't believe you. They don't believe your business. They don't believe your service. So with that being said, you have to implement risk reversals, especially at the beginning, whether you're starting a new offer, whether you're starting the business from scratch, right? You have to say something to a client that would otherwise make them believe that if this doesn't work out, I can be assured that, I'm either getting my money back or I'm going to get the deliverable regardless of how long it takes. And that's typically how you'll have to sell to cold traffic for a long period of time before you can build trust with them and get deals over the line. You don't have to do this, but if you want to scale cold traffic quickly, you need to sell with a risk reversal. It's typically the thing that will get those larger deals over the line because it just gives that prospect an extra level of trust and support and faith in you, because obviously, as the term says, it's risk-free. So now that we've gone over the underlying issues, let's break down and really compartmentalize the main changes that you need to make. And this should actually be 4, there's actually 4 here, but that's beside the point. The first one is that the actual thing, right? So what is the thing, in this case, the offer? What is the thing that you will do for the prospect? Break it down to a 3rd grade reading level so people can easily understand what it is you offer. I've tested offers and scripts out there that it may be great and it has great social proof behind it, but people just don't understand what it is. I've even gotten replies where people are like, can you actually break this down even further? Or I don't understand. And you may be under the assumption that as business owners, we're high-level thinkers and that, people can understand a high level of intellect. And that's not to insult anybody in challenges, but that's just not simply the case, right? Even myself sometimes. I'd rather have something that I can understand, at a 3rd grade level than all these complex terms and jargon and people trying to sound smart, right? Tell me what it is in a way that I can understand. And if it's good, I'll probably hop on a call and then maybe buy it down the road. But you have to break it down to a level where it's easy to understand, especially in outbound where you only have a few seconds of that person's attention on your script. it needs to be broken down in a way that's super easy to understand. So the next thing is the quantifiable end result. It's absolutely imperative and that you have a very clear end result of what exactly your prospect will get by working with you. So many times in outbound and business in general, people sell stuff, but on a very high level, you don't actually know what you're getting out of it. This could be, data management, for example, right? Obviously, data management is very good. Obviously, a lot of businesses need it, data protection, cybersecurity, whatever it may be. But most businesses fail to actually quantify the result of it. So there's different levels to this, but sometimes when you're working with an offer like that maybe isn't the most quantifiable, you have to point out, the pain points that they protect against. Because you can quantify pain points, right? This doesn't work monetarily. But if you want to see success with cold traffic, you need to be working with an offer that has a very quantifiable result. So that's why I have a marketing company, because everything I do is quantifiable. It manifests in how many replies we get, how many interested replies we get, how many book meetings we get, and how many closed deals. Every single one of those KPIs is a very measurable and quantifiable thing. And when I'm pitching to potential clients, it's very easy for me to put something in front of them that they can see exactly what they're going to get through working with me, and therefore it makes it easy for them to sign and pay me to do their marketing. The third thing, social proof, probably the largest thing in my opinion, right? If you have any piece of client success or any semblance of success, you need to use it and leverage it primarily on the internet. I like to do this through LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, whatever platform that you market on and that you can use as social proof so people can see what you're doing and that you are in fact a real person capable of delivering said results and have done so for XYZ client in the past. That's going to be huge. You want to open up the hood on how you operate and how you actually deliver results, right? And then you can put this into the outbound in little snippets, in videos, whatever you can use to your advantage in terms of results that you've driven before, or even just how you actually do things. That's going to be huge, and it's going to be huge in building trust with those prospects that you're reaching out to. And then the fourth thing is mitigating associated risk. So I talked about this earlier on the last slide, but primarily with cold traffic, and if you've never ran to cold traffic before or marketed to cold traffic, you will understand this, sometimes the hard way after taking lots of sales calls and not closing any deals. You are selling against the fact that they do not, or likely, I should say, do not know you. They likely do not trust you. And they likely just will probably be annoyed by you, even if they choose to get on the call. So you need to mitigate their risk with any offer you put out there, right? And this doesn't mean that you have to work for free or you have to do this. I definitely don't recommend doing that, especially if you are a successful up and running business. But that level of trust is going to significantly increase when you can look the prospect in the eye and say, hey, if we don't get XYZ result, we will do this, or I will refund your money, whatever the numbers. And I've used those in some instances. I have social proof now, so I stay away from those as much as possible. But sometimes you have to do it, right? Especially if it's someone's first time in your ecosphere. They're only going to buy from you if they feel assured and safe that they're going to get the result, or there's going to be some sort of risk reversal attached to it. That you're not going to change their mind through sales tactics. So use risk reversals, mitigate the associated risks. And those are primarily the four changes that I would make and I have made that have, caused me to book tens of more meetings, and obviously close thousands of dollars in revenue. So the end product, and this is my segmented framework, and you could put these together, and I have other videos on my channel of what this would look like in a cold email setting, but this can be used for a DM setting, this can be used for a VSL setting, but this is really just my segmented framework and a visual of what it would look like. So we talked about the offer being the most important thing, and this is how I would state that in an email. We'll help you increase your revenue by setting up sales appointments with your ideal buyer. Then you would flow into the unique mechanism. In this case, I would say something like using our intent data email system, right? It's not too crazy, but people understand that it's an email system and that you're sourcing intent data on their ideal clients. Um, so the timeline, again, this can be huge. This may be just a rough estimate, just to quantify it more, and you'll get more into it on the call. But timeline ROI is massive. People would love to know how long is it actually going to take me to realize results, right? And typically in my space, this will be anywhere from 30 to 90 days, but it could be longer, it could be shorter. The shorter, obviously, the more inclined the prospect is going to be to want to get on a call and even work with you because they want to make their money back quicker. But I would just say something like in the next 30 days. And then the risk reversal, again, massive. We'll do this on a performance basis, so you'll only pay for what we deliver. And the reason why I say it like this and not refund or work for free is because you may be able to negotiate some sort of risk reversal, on the call, right? Because the prospect may understand to some level that you have cost on your end to incur, so you may not be able to provide a full refund should you not deliver, or maybe you don't want to work additional time if the deliverable isn't there. Either way, if you're promising a result, get it, and if you don't get it, just give the refund, do whatever. It's never worth the hassle, in my opinion. It's always worth it just to give a refund. But in some instances, there could be an agreement you come to where it's like, hey, if you can uphold your end, we uphold our end, then the risk reversal could stand. But again, I just like to say it. And then social proof. This is actually a piece of my social proof. We did this for Vegas Digital and generated 25 warm leads, leading to $40,000 in revenue. So whatever social proof you have, just insert it there. And then I didn't talk about this a lot in the video, but I have other videos talking about the CTA. But at the end of it, how do you tie this all together, right? So instead of pitching for a call, or instead of being needy or demanding or asking for something, right, you want to double down on the value that you've already provided. And I would opt in for something like this. Would you be open to seeing a process breakdown to show you exactly how we deliver results for company name? And this is massive because it does two things, right? It ideates exactly what you're doing for them. So you explained the process and what you're doing for them basically throughout the email, but they still don't know how it works. They still don't know what it looks like. So if you can have, maybe a Loom or VSL of, a Figma chart or whatever it is, ready to send to them, that would be huge because then they can actually look at that, understand it a little bit more. And then maybe even when they come to the call, they actually know what it is. And it's just a matter of a couple questions or a couple of yes or no's. And they may sign with you right there and then. I've actually had that happen where the prospect will watch and take a look at resources before the call and have a really good idea of what it is we do, what they can expect working with us, and what the results we deliver. And we get a call. It's a couple questions here and there. Boom, contract, invoice, paid up, within 30 minutes of meeting somebody. Obviously, that doesn't happen all the time. It won't happen in most cases, especially if you're first getting started in this space. You need to get those reps, selling the cold traffic. But again, it will be huge in providing value and, like I said, trust, because you are selling the cold traffic. Probably, aside from door-to-door sales, the hardest form of sales, in my opinion, and also the most rewarding if you can do it well and consistently. Again, I built my business off of cold traffic, so I am very biased, but this works extremely well. And then the second point is that you are talking about how you deliver results for them specifically. So a lot of times what happens in cold outbound is people throw out social proof, but it has nothing to do with the market that they're actually targeting. And businesses will say, well, that's great for, Tom, Dick, and Harry, but what about my business? Will it work for my specific situation, right? So if you can tailor some sort of solution or process breakdown custom to what their needs are and their business as a whole, your results are going to skyrocket. People want to get on a call with you because they've seen you've taken the time to actually make an approach, breaking down what it would look like for their specific situation, and that you've done the research on them, which is huge because it builds trust. So everything comes back to building trust in yourself as the perceived authority in the space capable of delivering the result. And that is, exactly how I've been building my business and how I continue to build my business. And I hope this works for you. If you want any more help with cold email, outbound, go watch my other videos on this channel. Lots of great stuff there on scaling your marketing outbound for your B2B company. See you on the next one.